I'm just going to record it for the sake of it. So that's what you are testing. So yep. Okay. So it's just a wording type of thing. Okay, that makes it clear. Move on to the steps. See what you are trying to do here.
Okay, so it's the first thing we enter the URL for the Arthlon application and click enter.
Okay.
Arthlon application page should be displayed in the browser window.
Okay.
Log in as a dealer user. The user G training picked up from the notes is successfully logged in the system.
Okay.
And then access the calculator. So I'm giving some kind of test data saying my negative amount of $3,000.
Okay.
And then it checks and the amount not accepted since negative. So
Okay. So here I would split up the number 3 into 2 different steps.
okay.
Okay. So you are logging in as a dealer and you are successfully logged in. Now you access loan calculator because that is the additional step. You can break it up. Okay. And then 4th step, provide loan amount, not the payment amount, right? So you are providing the loan amount or enter loan amount as negative 3,000. And so amount not accepted since it's negative. I think I would put something reworded basically. Because I know what you are trying to say here, but you are expecting error message, right? That's what you would put it in. System displays error message, negative amounts and something like that, right? If you know the exact message, you can put that in, but here you don't have that. So you can simply say system displays error message.
So I don't want to do this.
Okay, so this test case is simple, right? I mean, it's not much complexity there. You are testing one condition here, and I think your test case is done at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So my test data is the URL.
Okay, so you have test data, loan amount. You already put the loan amount in the step. You don't have to put it over there, right? You don't want to put multiple places. Either you say in the step that input the loan amount as specified in the test data, then you can put it here. But otherwise, you already have it in the steps. And post condition, you don't have any post condition. It's just a calculation, right? It's not saving anything in the system at that point. Okay, does it make sense? Anybody has any question on the test case? I think everybody, all the team has this particular test case. Similar, right? Okay. All right, so stop sharing. Let's see another team. See what you guys came up with. Any of you two out of 4? Okay, go ahead and share that. Okay, so this is the positive test case that you have. Go ahead, Dhanasri. See what you have. Okay, so calculate loan payment based on predefined condition. Okay, user dealer exists. So again, you want to be specific here, Dhanasri, and say which dealer account you are trying to use. So G training, if that's what you are using, then say user G training or dealer G training exists in the system.
Then this case validates that lender has ability to calculate loan payments based on predefined conditions.
Okay, now here, one thing I would say is you put the calculation right there if you know it in the summary. Okay, because folks may not know what is your calculation, what are you testing. Okay, so you say what's 3% of loan amount. Just say it right there. Yeah, in the test summary. Okay.
Then test steps, like the first thing is enter the URL, log into the system.
Okay,
And then I check for the dealer has ability to calculate the loan payment. Then
Okay.
Some preconditions, like which is the month, period is 60 months. And
so
interest rate
here
is
on the
3%.
step number 3, right?
Mhm.
So again, you want to put the third step as access loan calculator module. I think you are missing that here. And then after that, you are creating the, you are entering the loan amount, right?
Mhm.
So I would get rid of number 4 because that's what you are verifying, right? It's a verification, not the actual. So you put the actual requirement there, right? You don't need that step. Okay. So here you enter loan amount. And so anybody knows what is missing here? In step number 4? What are we missing here?
The interest rate.
Interest rate?
No, not the interest rate. I already gave you predefined calculation, so interest rate doesn't come in the picture.
3%?
Okay, so what's missing in step number 4? Expected result specifically. What are we missing here?
It should be the amount $30.
Okay, so that's because you don't know what's the outcome, right? What are you expecting? Yeah, on step number 4.
See the loan calculator.
No, what are you expecting from in the expected result for step number 4?
$30 supposed to come out as a monthly loan payment.
So you want to be very specific here. System should display $30 as a loan pay or monthly payment.
Yes.
That's what it makes it pass or fail for you guys.
For the third, we just have to see for the expected, like, we have access to the loan.
Yeah, you are able to access loan calculator or you are on the loan calculator page or whatever module. That's all. Okay, the test data, right? So is everybody clear on the 4th step, right? Make sure you have the verification. Without that, your test case is not complete.
Question is, I think the other day you said the amount, we don't know the amount is not set. So on step number 4, if you put amount like $30, how do you know it's $30?
So, okay, so again, here is $30 valid amount. What he has, is it what you are expecting?
Yes.
Based on her test data.
If I put $3,000, then it will give me the $30 expected result.
Okay, if you put $3,000, is it going to be $30?
Oh, no, $1,000. You see for 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
So,
Yes, I was thinking about $1,000.
Yeah, I was
I'm so
like-
sorry.
All right, so-
I know.
if your test case has wrong data, it will always fail, no matter what you do. And your developer will get mad at saying, oh, you have the wrong data. That's not how it's supposed to be. So 3%, you want to add that in the test summary, right? What is the calculation? And here, I think should display $30, and that's it at this point. Now, in the test data, why do you have loan calculator here? Honestly,
We are accessing that loan calculator.
it's not your test data, right? It's not something you are inputting or anything. So you don't want to put additional information. Okay, so you want to get rid of the loan calculator from the test data. See, minor details does matter because if somebody's looking at it, they will say, oh, what is test with that loan calculator? Where am I inputting those things?
So is it will be like $1,000? The text data?
No, the test data, you already put it in step 4, right?
Okay.
So you don't need to repeat the same data in the test data. Okay. Post condition, will you have any post condition here? You will not, because you are not changing anything. It just calculates something and shows something on the screen. Okay. All right, does it make sense? Right, it's a straightforward, but it should get you some idea, okay, how you should be writing. All right, so you can stop sharing, Dhanasri. So let's go through one more cycle. I want to see other test cases, okay? You guys picked out a little bit simpler ones, so I want to see other ones. So online team, pick a different test case now. Somebody else, not Deepo. All right, so who is going test case wise from online? Well, you guys need to volunteer, otherwise I'll just pick the person. Go ahead, I mean, what's the other one? Which there are a bunch of requirements, right? So you guys should have at least a few more that you guys reviewed as a team. Anybody? Or shall I flip the coin? Well, hang on, I want to pick somebody online team. So we'll go one more circle. Okay. So Susri, Kobe, or Namita? Anybody? Jeff?
Harshal, I have done, but not in like in a leaf. Means all my test cases are in one test scenario.
Okay, so, all right, so make sure you write additional ones, okay?
Yes, I will do that.
Kobe, do you have anything else written? We cannot hear you, Kobe. You're on mute.
So I'm making the corrections you asked me to. I'm still on that. So
Okay, Namita, do you have anything? Any other test case? I know loan calculator one, you guys have it, but anything else?
Can I share the one that I shared with the team, or it should be a new one?
No, whatever you guys discuss as a team, right? That's the one I
Okay.
like to review.
Okay, give me just a second.
Okay. But not the loan calculator one. Okay, we already reviewed, pick the different requirement that you guys reviewed.
Okay, it'll be lender cannot modify. So let me
Okay,
just write-
yeah, that's a different requirement, which is good.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can. All right,
So I gave this module a Lindy name. I
okay.
don't know why, to
Yep,
trying to be specific.
sure.
My precondition, lender cannot modify application data.
Okay, here again, precondition, right? So I know you guys are putting the requirement in the precondition, so you may not, I would say, first of all, who is doing the work, right? So those type of accounts and those type of things, you can put in the precondition. But otherwise, it's a requirement. That's what you are testing, validating in the system. So your precondition is incorrect. Okay, because that's a requirement. That's not a precondition, right? That's what you are testing.
So what should it be that lender is existing in the system?
Well, yeah, so who are you logging in as? Do you
As a
have
lender.
okay, then say that particular specific lender, like L training, right? That's the account
Okay.
exists in the system.
Okay, so I have to specify it.
Yeah, the L training lender account exists in the system. Now, if you don't say that, I mean, and that account is not there, I'm not sure anybody can execute your test case without creating the login accounts and so forth. Okay. Okay, so I see the case summary seems correct to me. That
Should I have
Test it.
specified here also that the test, this is to validate that lender
no, I think it is summary is correct.
L
Okay.
trading cannot, or that is redundant.
No, that's
Okay.
redundant. You know, this summary should be generic. right? What is your test scenario here that you are testing, right? So
Okay.
you're trying to validate. I think this one has only one scenario,
Yes.
read only type of thing,
Yes.
right? Which is okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can we put credit application should appear in read-only format as a summary?
No, that's a requirement. That's what you are testing,
Okay,
right? So you don't want to put the requirements in anywhere.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is supposed to be what is your outcome and what's your goal of the test. So. Okay. All right, you can scroll down. What is it?
What will be the test summary?
So what's supposed to be your test case? What's the logic? It's kind of like a summarizing your logic. What are you testing? What's the goal of the test? Right? So here, this one has only one leap, right? But the loan calculator has 4 different leaps. So you can say for loan calculator, this test is to validate that lender cannot enter negative amount. Or lender enters positive amount and it should get valid monthly payment. That should be your test summary.
So in this case,
It's only one leaf, right? So we are just, she's just saying that lender should not be able to modify application date.
And the test title will be the same.
Yeah, you can put the test title same. Generally, I mean, it's the same thing. Now summary, if you are putting more details in the summary, you can do that. Title is generally short form. Okay. Go ahead, Namita.
So my test data, I just put here credit app is read only.
Let's see the steps first.
Oh, sorry. I said it's, you're logging in as a lender user.
Okay,
The page is displayed.
okay.
And when you opens the credit application page, it opens as a view only mode.
Okay, so what C is missing here? Can anybody tell me?
That user as training or data.
Well, no, that's whatever the lender user, right? So she is logging in as a lender user and she said L training. So, right?
Yeah.
So she can be specific in step 1, right? Log in as a L trading lender user, right? That's fine. But what is she missing here afterwards?
The URL. What should be the URL?
Well, URL she has it in the test data, so which is okay. But remember, what's the goal of the test?
If
You
she
are-
try to change anything.
Right, try to change anything, right?
So can we just give an example here? Try to delete name or try to add it
Anything.
a social security number, anything.
So think about it, right? So if she logs in and instead of on the step number 2, I'm talking about here specifically. So open the credit application page.
Yeah, very good.
Now, what if the lender has 50 credit application waiting to be done,
That specific lender.
right?
Application.
And what if that guy doesn't have any credit applications on the page? So I cannot do anything for my test case, right? So the steps, you need to have the steps here. So what additional steps we can do in that case?
So can we do the access the module credit application and can we give a credit application number or ID there?
That's what exactly I think is missing, those instructions, right?
Yes. So I just gave the random number on that one.
Well, if you give the random number, and what if that credit application is not there? If somebody is executing, they say, oh, I don't see this ABC 101 credit application. So how would you add those steps here? How would you make sure that lender has a credit application waiting in the when they log in?
So go log in as a dealer and
Yep.
then the dealer select the lender and send the credit application.
So those are the steps you need to do here, okay? Because you want to make sure the lender has at least one credit application which they can review and verify that they cannot change anything. So you are missing bunch of steps here, right? Specifically login as a dealer.
So should we start from logging as a dealer?
Yep, I would start from, instead of logging in as a lender, log in as a dealer, then create the credit application,
Okay.
then log in as a lender, make sure he can access that credit application and try to view it, and then verify.
Wait, could you go over it again?
So here, simply saying, right, access credit application and see if they cannot change anything, right? Or shows up in a view only mode. Because that may or may not be true when somebody is executing the test case. So here, what we are saying is, you as a QA, you want to make sure that you create at least one credit application assigned to that specific lender. And then lender logs in and try to view that application and see if they can modify it. Does it make sense, Kobe?
So after dealer, the loan, access the loan application only. right?
So
Yeah.
you log in as a dealer, not a lender?
Yes, those steps are missing here because who can create the credit application,
Dealer.
The
Dealer.
dealer,
right? So dealer, so you have to log in as a dealer, create the credit application, assign to this specific lender. L training, right? That's or whatever the company that L training belongs to.
Mhm.
And then log in as a lender and verify that application is in the read-only mode. It's again a simple requirement, but you have to add all the steps. So that this test, anybody can, whoever is executing, they can follow the steps properly. Yes, Joe.
So in this case, are we making a fictitious lender or a real lender?
A lender cannot create the applications.
No, I understand that, but you said you go in as a dealer, create an application.
Yep.
And just send to yourself or. send
No,
to-
no, you cannot, dealer cannot send to themselves, right?
So
You have to pick a specific lender
Okay,
that your account belongs to,
okay,
right? Because the lender is a company,
yes,
there could be 3 lender employees working.
Yeah.
So you assign the credit application to a specific lender, right? And then you log in as a L training, and then you can access that application.
okay,
Otherwise, they will not be able to see the application, right?
yes,
Remember, we have another requirement. Lender can see only their credit application.
yes.
So your test data has to be correct.
But if there is one credit application already there, then why to log in as dealer?
So did you put that in a precondition? Anything? How do you know there is a credit application already there?
Mm.
So
Now,
if
you
we put
can
that one, then
you can add in the precondition that lender already has a credit application assigned to them. Then you don't have to write these steps, right? You have to have precondition otherwise. But I would suggest you put the steps, all the steps in, so that it makes it much more clear.
Okay, thank you.
Once you get more experience, right, then you can put those preconditions, those steps in the those things in the precondition.
So Harshal, to recap this one, the dealer is logging in and then he's creating a credit application and then verifying the credit application is correct, that is the result. And
Not the,
then,
it's assigned to this lender.
So
okay, he creates the application and assigns it to the lender.
Right.
And then logs back in as a lender and checks if it is in the,
So think about, you are the QA. So you
Yes.
are acting as a different lender as well as playing the role, right? It's a role play. You are playing as a dealer. So you're logging in as a dealer, getting the credit application, then you're logging out, logging in as a dealer lender, and then try to see if I can see the credit application.
And it is all in these steps, right? From
Yeah,
here,
you have to put
Okay.
all the steps individually.
okay,
Log in as a lender, dealer first, right? Then you access a credit application module. Then create the credit application. You have to supply the test data as well. Make sure you pick you supply the lender, specific lender. Right? Then save the information, log out, log back in as a lender, and see if you are able to see the application in view only mode.
okay.
So if we give this date and the precondition, where do we get the information from the request?
That's why it's confusing, right? If you put the says that they already have a credit application waiting. Now think about if you give it to somebody else, they wouldn't know what to do with it unless they are familiar with the system, how to create a credit application and all those things, right? Because that's why precondition, I don't like to put those logic in the precondition. Make sure you lay it out clearly in your steps.
Can I share my screen that I make a change?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So Namita, you can stop sharing.
I think the step, like,
Okay, so let's take a look at it, see what you have, right? It's the same test case. So you are logging in, the login, enter dealer user ID. Yeah, okay, password, and say the data section, click login, access loan application module or credit application, right? Our module is credit application, right? Creates new credit application, right? You can say in the step number 4. So you already have it, I think, the step number 4. So I'm just reading it. Dealer is creating their new credit application, right? With the required information, or required test data. Now here you want to be specific and assign to a lender, specific lender. Okay. While L training is a user, remember that his company might be different. Okay, so whenever they are creating, they are not assigning to the users, they are assigning to a company, to a specific chase or something, right? Okay, so you have number 5, sorry, with required data, and then you have number 5, dealer will assign to specific lender. And lender will log into the system. Again, you need to access the credit application created, right, or assigned to them. And then number 7 is more like a verification step. Okay.
when we are creating as a dealer, when we are creating a new one, we have to save it.
Yeah, you need to save those steps. I mean, you have to clearly lay down, right? But step number 7 here, what she has, it's a verification. So it needs to go in the expected result.
Again, after the lender will log into the system, again, he has access to the loan.
Yeah, he pick that, or he accesses, opens the credit application, right? And at that point, you have to say that, or they cannot change anything. It's or the information is a view only in the expected result.
Can I stop share?
Yeah, go ahead and stop sharing. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at another one here. All right, go ahead, Anika. Yep.
Here I'm testing search lender by lender name.
Okay, now search lender by lender name. Okay, all right, go ahead.
So Module is.
Yeah, don't worry about module name and stuff, okay? Let's go to the precondition and stuff,
Yeah, precondition is site manager S training already exists in the system.
okay? Now, wait, your test title is says search lender
Yes,
by lender name, right? What are you searching? And test summary, right? So think about the what scenario you are testing. Well, can you tell me what scenario you are testing here? Because we have two different leaves, right? For that condition, which one you are testing? Based on the clarification, right? We had good discussion on that. So what are you testing on?
by entering partial.
So make sure you say that in the, it's a partial, as partial search. That's what you are testing, right? Send search lender by providing partial lender name. Right? And that's what you want to mention in the test summary as well. Okay.
If somebody is able to do search lender by lender.
Well, it's always per a given requirement, okay? So you cannot test anything but given requirement, but you want to be specific to search lender by providing partial lender name. And remove the as per given requirements because it's always for the requirement. So you're missing the partial word over there. Okay, make sure you correct that later on. All right.
Then in test steps, first in the browser and then
Okay.
application navigation.
Yep. Okay.
In the login section, enter site manager user ID and password. As mentioned in test data section. So
Okay.
user S-train is successfully logged in.
Okay.
Then
Okay. Hang on. S training is which user you are trying to log in as?
Site manager.
Site manager. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Access lender user management module to search lender.
Okay.
Then page with required fields to be entered is open.
Okay. With required fields to be entered. Okay. So you are saying that, I mean, lender search page is open, right? So I'm not sure what's required fields to be entered. So you want to be specific. What are you expecting? It's a search lender page or lender search page.
Search bar, search tab.
It is a page, right? That's what it will be open, right? For lender search.
Lender page.
Lender search page will be open. So,
Then enter partial lender name. Here
okay, so we are giving some test data, CHAS, okay,
and verify the display.
okay,
So we are able to see one or more lender names with starting letters matching the input value.
okay.
Here in the test data, given lender name chase that.
Okay, what's your precondition here? Let's go back to the precondition here. Okay, so now go back there. So you don't have anything else other than the username, right? Exists. So what if I in the step number 4 verification, you're expecting something display, right? Some such result will come up. What if nothing comes up? How do you ensure that your test case that it will always come up? There is always one such result will be written. How do you make sure that? Because you are expecting something, number 4, one or more lender names. What if nothing shows up?
Precondition, we have to have the lender name.
Right, so you want to put in the precondition that you have a lender chase whatever you said in the test data already exists in the system. Okay,
How
so
do we
you
know it is existed in the system already?
or if let's say you wouldn't know, right? You will not know. But if somebody looks at the precondition and they will say, okay, let me see if that guy is there. Because that's why you are saying the precondition, right? So here S training, how do you know S training is there? Right? But you are assuming it's already exists or somebody is or you can create the test data separately. That's what it will be.
So can I write like site manager also like lender exists?
Yeah, you have to just say second precondition. Okay. that lender, whatever name you specified, already exists in the system.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah, go ahead, Deepak.
So instead of a site manager being a specific, instead of that, can we just use any user and the username?
Does anybody who has access to the lender module?
Mm.
Dealer has access to the lender module or manage,
No.
who can create the lenders? So you need to think when this requirement comes into play, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
This is part of the managed lender. So somebody is creating a new lender. That's where this managed lender comes into play, right? And only super user can do that activity.
Okay.
So when the dealer is creating the credit application, he also needs to assign a lender to
Right.
that application.
Yep.
So does he also search the lender or?
Generally, the way it works is they'll be given, I mean, that's just something discussion you want to have, how they are planning to provide that functionality, right? But here I can clarify it for you. Generally, I mean, you will have a drop down list and they will pick one lender from
Okay,
there.
that's what I thought too. What if they want to search the lender in for the credit application? That's why I was asking that. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm clarifying that for you. They will pick it from the drop down specific lender and assign the credit application. That's how they will assign it.
Post condition, do we have post condition?
Is there a post condition? It's a search, right? So there shouldn't be any post condition here. Okay. All right. So I think this one is, I think otherwise it's complete, right? Okay. All right. So did anybody write? Let me ask the specific one that lender can see only their credit application. Does anybody have that? Lender can see only their credit applications.
I did, but I'm not sure.
Okay, let's pull that up because let's take a look at it as a team. See what do we have.
Give me a second, let me first just pull it out.
Okay. Go ahead and share it. Don't worry about it, whether it's right or wrong, and we'll work through that.
Okay, this is about the lender where the case was lender one is existing and lender two is existing.
Okay, there are two lenders already exist in the system with assigned applications.
Yes.
Okay, so you are putting something in the precondition already.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will do is I'll take out I'll keep the first part.
Mhm.
Okay, there are two lenders already exist in the system
Mhm.
and get rid of the second part for now. I'm not saying it's incorrect, but let's get rid of that. Okay. Two lenders already exist in the system.
Do we have to specify the names as well?
Yeah, it's better you specify the names, which two lenders you are saying. So L training and then L training one, whatever. Yep. Okay. All right, so let's see what's your test summary.
Test case checks, lenders are able to view user application only assigned to them. And they are not able to accept the application assigned to the other.
Okay, that's a good summary. It makes it clear to me what your test is supposed to test, right? Okay,
I'm not sure about this because I was a little bit confused, but I just proved that lender one, not even L training, because today I came to know they're already assigned lenders. So I've just taken lender one and lender two.
okay,
Who are successfully logging into the system.
okay,
They are seeing the approve and reject credit application.
okay,
So L1 is assigned a user one and L2 is assigned a user two, but further I was like, okay.
gotcha. Okay, so let's do one thing here. Okay, so your first step, right? So this step here, right? So this one, in the browser, enter URL for credit application. Okay, this one is fine. But in order to test this, what do you need to have, right? So think logically. What do we need to have here?
Login as dealer.
Dealer and then
So first of all, both lenders has to have some credit application assigned to them. Now, how would you make sure that they have credit applications?
by
So
making-
the same way, you can log in as a dealer, create an application, create a that like application assigned to this lender one, create a
Okay.
second application assigned to the lender two, and
Okay.
then log out, then log back in as a I guess lender one,
Okay,
and check the application so they can see lender one application, then log out, check back, like log in as a lender two, lender user, user
okay,
number two, and check the application lender that assigned to the lender two, and log out.
okay. I think those are the steps, right? I don't see anything else missing there, right? Okay, does it make sense? I mean, this thing, you have to have those steps here.
So we need the dealer first.
Yep, yep. So you need the dealer, some dealer account, create the application assigned to those two different lenders and then log in as those lenders one by one and see if they are only able to see whatever is assigned to them.
So you have to make two applications.
You can make three, I mean, more than one, that's for sure.
Do we need to create credit application for every test case, or if we have already existing credit?
Well, if you don't create it, right? So you are assuming somebody will do the work for you. But you are the QA, remember. So you have to create test data regardless. Even if you put it in precondition, before you execute, you have to go and do that. Create those credit applications and do the work. Now, if you are not experienced QA, you are handing it to somebody else in India or somewhere. If you don't put all these steps, they will get confused. Well, what are we doing here? So that's why you want to put everything in the test steps. Okay, specifically this type of things. Is everybody clear? Anybody has question on this specific test case?
Hey, Harshal.
Yeah.
Dilip had given a scenario like, what if lender one can, see, how is he able to see only his application and not the other person's application?
That's what we are proving here, right? With this test case. You are creating credit applications, more than one, assigned to lender one.
Mhm.
Same thing, you are creating more than one application and assigning to lender two. And then you are trying to log in as individual lenders and expecting only those applications they will be able to see. That's what you are proving in your test case. That's the functionality.
So the other, scenarios are redundant then, like he has said, no credit application exists in the system.
If now, no credit application exists in the system, right? So if the lender one does not have credit application assigned to them, then they should not be able to see anything, right? So you might have a second scenario, assign all the credit application to lender one. Second one, you don't assign anything, try to log in and see if they are able to see anything,
Okay,
right? So that would be a second scenario in that case.
thank you.
All right. Okay, so I think you guys need to revise your test cases based on what we discussed, right? If you have not written the test case, I strongly encourage you write more, okay, and finish for the 6 requirements. Because if you don't write it, I'm not sure how we can see what questions you have or how much progress you guys are making. Okay. So let's do one thing. You guys know what to do, right? I mean, now hopefully you guys can write it quicker and better. I'm hoping based on our discussion. So let's pick. I'm gonna get you guys class exercise now, which is a different requirement. Okay. Other stuff you can work through home and finish that up. Okay, so let me get you guys a couple of more requirements. One is a team exercise, so make sure you work it as a team. I think we all have at least 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 written down here. I think we talked about this. And I think none of you wrote this one, right? Lender can only approve or reject credit application by changing status.
I did.
Okay, you guys did. So we will review that. Okay. So and hopefully you guys can review as a team as well. And I'll review that as well. Okay. But let me pick out a couple of more requirements so that for the class exercise here. And I like you guys to write that. So requirement 1.2. Okay, that's the first one.
I think we already did that.
You guys already did this one? Requirement 1.2. Are there any test cases you guys wrote?
No.
Okay,
Just the. Yeah, we did this.
you guys did it? Okay. I haven't seen any test cases here. You guys wrote the password test case?
Yes, that was in classwork. The
Okay, so-
1.2 was we did it in classwork.
Okay,
And 2.9.
2.9 and okay, so 2.9 you guys did it here. Okay, so let me pick different one. I think there are a bunch of requirements here. 2.11. Okay, that's the one. I like you guys to work here. Okay, so scenario tree, first of all. This one, 2.11, and write down, I want to see it as a team. So one person writes it, test case, everybody discuss, and it needs to be a 1 copy. Okay, everybody works through that.
So is it supposed to be in a Word document or is it okay to just put it on the piece of paper?
No, Word document, but the scenario tree would be on piece of paper. So however you guys want to discuss that, somebody can draw it. If you are doing that online, I mean, use the paint or something. Share the like in the Microsoft Paint, right? You can just
Yes.
create a scenario tree. Or if you have PowerPoint, you can do that. Okay, and
Yes.
write a detailed test case for that.
Okay.
And the second one is 2.12. 2.12. So 2.11 and 2.12.
Okay,
Okay? Well, we wanna do it here, and I'll get you guys roughly about an hour to work through that. As a team. So
both-
30 minutes,
Both are in the submit credit application, right? Those two requirements?
2.11 and 2.12.
yes, yes, Sushri.
Okay, and I'm gonna put you back in the rooms, okay? So that way you can discuss and work through that.
Okay.
And you can join the room. Dharashree, Nilima, Shruti, you guys need to join the room. So that you can share. What is it? Unfortunately, no Mac here, yeah. It is fine, I mean, you can work with her, because it's a one person doing the work anyway, so. So tree first and then other stuff, okay? Detailed test case.
Can you draw the tree?
Yeah.
All right, so here is what I'm saying here.
Your camera is off, so we can't see.
Oh, sorry, yep, I didn't say it. All right, hopefully you guys can see now.
Yes.
Okay, so we are saying 2.11. Give me a second. All right. So what is not picking up? Okay, I'm just going to type it here. Okay, so one, more than one application assigned to one dealer. Okay. So that would be the first one. Site administrator can view all, basically. Okay. More than one app or created by, yes.
Okay, you got it.
Okay. Created by more than one dealer. Site admin can view all. Okay. And the last one is no apps in the system. Site admin cannot view app. So these are three different scenarios we are talking about. Okay. All right, so that's the first one. What about the second one? Does anybody have it? Second one?
Second requirement?
Yes, second requirement.
Yes, we did it too.
Okay, what's your scenario? Just read the scenarios.
Okay, the scenarios are first is a positive one, email sent and lender receive it. Second one is email
Okay,
sent.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Let's see here. So I'm gonna pull the requirement here. Just to see. Oops. All right, somehow I cannot get rid of that annotation, but let's see. Okay, so the last one, right? 2.12, after credit application is submitted, system shall notify lender via email. Okay, so that's the scenario. So now if you go back here. Okay, go ahead, Deepak.
Yes, so first scenario is it's a positive email, so credit application submitted and
Okay.
system sends email to lender.
Okay,
The second one is credit application submitted. System cannot send a email because of the wrong ID. Email ID, yes. And the third one is credit application submitted. Before that, system send email to lender.
so what's the difference in first one and second one? Or before credit app submitted?
Yes.
Is that
yes,
what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
And the fourth one, we were thinking, is it possible? Again, the question is, credit application is submitted and the email sent, but the lender cannot view it. Is it possible?
okay, let's see what we are testing here, right? Okay, so scenario one, credit app submitted, lender sends email, system sends email to lender. Okay, so that's the positive scenario that you have. Cannot send email, wrong email ID for lender. Now, how you are going to prove that, that lender receives email with the wrong email ID? Do you guys,
Here we thought lender is not going to receive any email address, from the system because the ID is wrong.
so are you going to be able to prove that? Because you never
No.
received the email. So
Yes,
I'm
we
not
are not
sure
gonna
it's a
prove
valid-
it.
Okay. Because if you can receive it, I mean, that means it will fail it.
Yes.
So I'm not sure second scenario, I mean, you will be able to execute and validate, basically. You have wrong test data, that's what you are saying. You have invalid email and I don't know how you can prove it. Okay, as a tester, you probably wouldn't be able to prove that. Second scenario. Okay. So second scenario, I don't think that's feasible. So this one probably you have to scratch it out. Okay, this scenario. Okay, third one, before credit app submitted, system send email to lender. What you guys are trying to prove there, Dimple?
We were just thinking, we were thinking also like we cannot prove this scenario and time ran out.
Yeah, this one I don't think you can prove because your requirement says after it's submitted, right?
Yes.
So this one is not, it's not a valid scenario for you guys,
Yes.
right? So this one is again, same way. You won't be able to do anything here, okay? Last one, credit app submitted, but sender cannot view it. Now, I'm not sure what you guys mean by that.
Maybe is there any glitch in the system in the Airflow? They are not able to see it. These last two we were thinking, and we couldn't come to the conclusion. That's what happened.
Okay, did you guys have something similar?
No,
So how many scenarios you guys have?
I think it's a positive.
You have positive scenario only, the first one, right?
We
How
have
about-
two of them.
Well, what's the second one that you guys have?
The system will, even though it is submitted, the system will not notify the lender. The
Well, that
email
would be the
not-
failure of the first one then, right?
Email will not be sent.
So that's again the first one, failure, right? Failure of the first scenario. System does not send email, right? First one says credit rep submitted, system sends email. What you are saying, second scenario, system does not send email. Is it what you are saying? Or you guys are saying different?
Yes, that is what, but then we have to log in as lender and see if that is sending the email or we are receiving it or not.
You always have to check that, right? In the first scenario, that's what you are doing. I think you're logging a lender and checking the email. So if you don't receive it, that means it fails.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need a second scenario. This one is fairly straightforward. You
And
have,
we have
now
a one
here, by the way, you guys understood the requirement, who is getting the email?
yes, lender
Who is lender?
who is going to approve or reject the credit application,
So
or
lender,
basically money giver.
right? So where does the email go? Does it go to the company?
No, we just have to create an app.
No, who is receiving the email? Is it the company receiving the email?
No, lender users are going to receive the email.
Lender users are going to receive the
Oh,
email,
yeah.
right? Think about what happens in the credit application, right? You are assigning to a company,
Yeah.
but the users are receiving the email. Now, if you really think of it here, which user will receive the email from the lender? There are 5 people working at that lender. Are all 5 receiving the email?
The one who is
No.
submitted.
Who are assigned to that, who are assigned to deal with that particular credit application, maybe receive that email.
So when you assign a credit application, when lender assigns a credit application to a lender, is he assigning to a specific user or to a company?
That is to the company. Yes.
So if there are 5 lenders belongs to that company, which user is getting the email?
So isn't that company is going to send that email to that particular employer of them, the employee of them?
Generally, I mean, that's not how it works, right? Because then somebody has to manage the company account and they have to receive they will send email to whoever they need.
So we are just selecting the company and then how do we select the person from that company?
That's the question here, right? So you need
So
to
can
understand
we-
the requirement. What is the requirement here?
So
It's-
can we go back to business owner and ask them what is the specification of this lender?
That's exactly how.
Who
you
is
guys should-
responsible? Yes, who is
So-
responsible for this account?
So generally, and the way our float system is supposed to work is, if there are more than 1 users belongs to that lender, they all should get an email. They should all get notified. So whoever is working on it, they will, they have their outside process, right? Which user will work through it, it's up to them. But they all 5 should get notification. So your scenario is supposed to change here. Okay, according to now, the clarification, how would your scenario will change? What would change in your scenario here?
Email ID, provide the email ID.
No, I mean, now, based on the clarification that you got right now, how is your scenario is going to change?
To all the lender users.
All the lender users,
Now, all users, more than 1
users. Yes.
user, right? They all should get email, right? If they don't have any user, they will not get email, right?
Only one user.
Only 1 user, you can change it as well, right? They have 1 user, only 1 user gets it. If there are more than 1 users, they all supposed to get the email at the same time. Okay, so your scenario will change here. Okay. So what we are saying is, this one, this three, but this one can blow into other one, right? Okay. So one lender user greater than one lender user, all should get email. No lender user, no email sent, right? Again, the last one, I'm not sure whether you can really prove it because there is no lender user.
So Harshal, here we were thinking about the fourth one. What if the email provider, the system is not working?
Well, that's where you need to think about precondition, right? To make sure the email system is up and running, that's what you think, put it in the precondition. You don't have a separate scenario for that.
Okay, okay,
Got it?
okay.
Okay.
So what I understood, this is only for one positive case. There cannot be any negative scenario in this.
Yeah, I wouldn't have negative one. I mean, because if you can't prove it, they are not receiving. I mean, I'm not sure how you can prove that. Even if you have invalid email account, because how you are proving this, right? How you are going to prove it? Let's say I have only one user, how I'm going to prove it? They are getting the email. Can anybody tell me the high level steps? For this scenario, lender has one lender user. You have to prove that they are getting the email. What would be the high level logical steps?
We would create a dummy email.
Login as the lender.
Right, so log in as a lender, right? But then what?
Put that user.
Assign your own email ID
Yeah.
and check.
Okay. Okay, so let me open the notepad here. I can clear the annotation. Okay, maybe I can do this. Okay. All right. So, all right, tell me the high level steps, logical steps. Step by step. For one lender user receiving the email for the credit application, right? That's scenario.
Login, access to our phone.
Log into our phone, okay? What user? What
As a dealer, you
as dealer? Okay,
access the credit app.
access credit app,
And then.
create credit app,
Create
New credit application.
create new credit app, right? Well, we are creating credit app, so it will be new always, right? Okay, but you can be more specific. I mean, you can say create new, I mean, it's up to you. Create credit app,
Select lender name.
lender Chase, and assign credit app. Save credit app, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what is your step here?
Verify.
Login as a lender.
Okay,
But before doing that, verify, like we can create a. We can assign email ID.
so
Yes.
logical steps. What's your precondition?
Lender and lender users information provided.
User exists in the system.
Yes.
Dealer,
Lender exists in the system, right? Lender Chase, whatever.
Mhm.
Some dealer exists in the system.
Lender email, so we create the lender email,
Okay. What is it?
lender email,
Is that a lender email or lender user email?
users.
Okay. So, and what are you saying? I mean, lender user email.
Assign. Or-
So you need to be specific here. Okay, put your thoughts together.
Okay.
Tell me what exactly it will be. Anybody online?
Lender users contact information provided.
Email, right? You are only interested
Yes.
in the
Email.
Yes, email,
email
or yes, email
is provided,
information provided.
Provided.
Yes.
is provided.
Yes.
And you can put be as specific as abc@gmail.com, whatever it is. Okay? Or email is assigned, not provided, but let's put assigned as abc@gmail.com. Now, this is where you have access to this abc@gmail.com login and so forth. Okay? So now you log in as a lender. Where are you logging in?
User's email.
No,
where are you
first of all, we need to log in into the ARF loan.
Okay, so these steps are fine, right? Submission. What is the next step afterwards?
Log
Log into the email account.
Okay, so log into lender's email account, abc@gmail.com, right? Whatever. Then what?
And
Check whether the.
see if you have received the email.
See email notification.
Yes.
Okay. So this one and the verification step, yep, I received, the lender has an email notification in the inbox. That's where your test case is supposed to end.
Yes.
And for that. Now, if you have this one, right, more than one lender user, you have to repeat these two steps, last two steps for every user. So you have abc@xyz@gmail.com, whatever. So you repeat these two steps, log into xyz.com, make sure they have email as well. Okay, so both of them supposed to receive email in that particular test case.
Harshal, can you please clarify the two emails? Like, so these two
So-
emails are already in the system.
So lender
Who's-
one, let's be specific, right? Lender one has email assigned as abcxyz.com. Or let's say L training, right? We are familiar with L training one. Now here, another thing you can do, L training one and L training two, right? What if they belong to somebody else, some other company? Not Chase one. Are they going to receive email? Who is our lender? Lender Chase, right? Exists in the system. And lender Chase has two lender users created. L training one, L training two. So you need to be very specific what exactly the sequence is here. Okay. And then L training one has email assigned to this, L training two has email XYZ. Then only they will receive the email. Otherwise, you cannot, your scenario will fail right there. If your test data is incorrect, if things are not set up like this, then your scenario will fail.
Harshal, can you explain the login to lender's email account and both the accounts? creating these accounts and assigning it to me?
Yes, you have access to create account, right? New accounts you can create anywhere, Gmail, Outlook, whatever you want.
Right.
Assign to your test lenders, L training 1 and L training 2,
Okay.
right? And because you need access to verify, so you need to have test accounts created, email accounts.
So when we are logged in as a lender user,
Mhm.
then we can see only that email, or the user has another email in the email and we can.
No, in the system, Rflow, right? You cannot assign more than one email.
No, I got it, like, okay,
Okay.
if you are lender, I'm lender user, you are sending me some email. And
Okay.
you're checking that if I get it or not.
Right?
So you will able to see on my only that email, or I have another email in my mailbox, will you able to see that too?
So you can see only what comes in your mailbox, right? Maybe I'm not clear what you are asking.
No, I have an email, like Gmail.
Okay.
I got an email from the Outlook, I got an email from some other friend. So you will able to see when you are checking that, do I receive an email or not? So you will able to see only that email, or you have access to the whole inbox?
No, but there are other emails you might be getting, right? But you are not interested in verifying that. You are
Yeah, but
interested in,
You will see that email.
Yeah.
You will see my other emails too.
it's your account, right? You are the QA, you are setting up these test accounts, like Gmail accounts. And then you are going in the Rflow and assigning those emails to one lender. One lender you can only associate one email, right? So here we have L training 1, and he's getting xyabcgmail.com, and you have login as a QA. Same thing, you're gonna create a second login, and you have second email, you're gonna assign to that second L training 2. So you have to log in one by one into those accounts once you submit a credit app as a dealer to see if they are receiving the email. I mean, you might get other emails, but who cares? Is it what you're asking? I'm not sure otherwise.
Yeah, if I have other email in my email inbox, which are maybe it's very important, and you are able to see my email.
But you are the QA, so you are wearing different hats. So you are not giving to somebody else those emails, right? To log in, I mean, you are not sharing with anybody else. If somebody else wants to test it, they can go and create their own accounts. I mean, whatever. They can create 2 different Gmail accounts, follow the same process, and work through that.
Basically, these emails were created by a tester.
Right.
It's not the real person's emails. Oh, okay. Tester
Yeah.
created those. He can only
Right.
see the.
That's related to-
Tester sent.
Yep, related to testing only. I mean, yeah.
Not the real
Yeah.
email.
Okay, got it.
So you are wearing hat. You are playing multiple roles here. Yeah. But everything has to be done by tester. Okay, this is something that you own it. You have to do it yourself. If it's a team, they might already have some test accounts. You can use it. If you are, let's say, 5 people team, right? Big company, they might already have some test accounts created, and they will share the logins with you guys. But otherwise, you have to create it every time. Got it? Okay. All right. Any question on this one? I think you guys should be able to finish that up, right? So what I want you guys to do is let's finish up 2.11. Okay, test case in detail. And I think I'll get you guys 20 minutes this time, so that we can review it before we close out today.
So again, in what document?
Yes, this one has to be in the Word document. And so
Okay.
forth. Okay. So I'll open back the room. Okay, but 20 minutes to 12:30 right now, 12:50. Make sure you guys have it. No more discussions, right? And we'll review it, and hopefully that one will give you a little bit more idea.
For all 3 of them?
No, you pick one. Whichever scenario you guys feel comfortable, go ahead and pick it. I would go with the normal scenario, positive one, and see what you guys come up with.
Can you stop sharing?
Yep, I'm gonna share that and I'm going to open the room. Deepak, you need to join the room.
Okay, hold on.
Open the document, Deepal.
Yes, I
I
already
think by the
opened.
time you, Joyce, I think you should be able to write it on your own now. So
I want to go and be able to listen again.
It is open on my side, but I cannot see the whole. Hold on, let me.
yeah, stop
Just check.
sharing and share it again. I think.
Yeah, I
that
will.
might be-
Yes, I guess so. Yes, let me do it that way.
Okay.
We are hungry now.
I know everybody is hungry and it's getting late.
Maybe we can volunteer every time and have break and eat it. Because my.
So
bag
next
is
time you bring the
for-
food from home so that it will keep you going.
Like 45-minute drive from here.
Okay. Yep. I understand, but it's fine once in a while. It's a good fasting anyway. So,
It makes you more stronger.
yep, more stronger.
Can you guys see it?
Yes,
Yep.
Deepal, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
So this is designed by Group A. Today's date, version, priority is high, test case number is
Don't worry about
T1.
those things. Let's cut to the
Okay.
chase. See what
Okay.
you.
Okay, this is it. The test title is site admin can view
Okay.
credit application submitted by two different dealers with one application each.
Okay. So one application each by two different dealers. Okay.
Yes. Precondition is site admins as training exists in the system. Dealer 1 and dealer 2 exist in the system.
Okay. So you have two preconditions. Okay.
And the test summary is this
Yeah.
test
Somebody is fine.
validates.
Let's go to the steps.
Okay. So we open up the Rflow URL in the browser, access as a dealer login module, login as a dealer 1,
Okay.
access credit application module, fill the credit application particular name with
Right.
required information, save and submit the credit application, log out.
Okay. So you are
Login,
doing the same thing with the dealer two as well. Looks like.
yes.
Okay.
Then access the site admin module, login as a site admin, access the module view submitted credit application.
Okay.
Site admin can view credit application from dealer 1 and site admin can view the credit application from dealer 2.
Okay, so those 16 and 17, okay, so they are not your steps. It's a verification, so they are expected results. They are, so expected result for 15 would be those site admin can view credit app from dealer 1 and dealer 2. Okay, so the 16 and 17 are not really steps.
Okay.
They are expected result of number 15. Did it make sense?
Yes.
I think
Right.
everybody has, I've seen you guys pretty much all have the similar one, just wrote it a bit differently, maybe. I think you guys have 7 or 8 steps. And you guys are different. So it looks like you guys are making progress, hopefully. The reason we emphasize on this particular piece today, because this is what you're gonna be doing day in and day out, okay? Analyzing the requirement, breaking it down, coming up with the test cases, And starting tomorrow, we'll dive into the tools and technology side. So it will go very fast. Tomorrow onwards, it will go very fast. So, but for homework, we'll have additional requirements, which I'll send it out in the email. Make sure you put an effort, break down the tree yourself, work with your team members if you are not, and we'll review on Thursday. Okay. No, we'll review on Thursday. No, not tomorrow. I think today you guys will take a break.
So how do we communicate with your team?
I would suggest you take the email addresses of your team members and
Or
communicate.
can we like WhatsApp or?
How you want to communicate, okay? Not us, because we cannot share phone numbers and email for you guys. So you can, but you guys are feel free to share it. Yep. With all of you. Does it make sense? I mean, this thing? Okay, for tomorrow, I want you guys to do one homework item, okay? Make sure you have an Outlook account or Hotmail account or Live account. Okay, so go to the outlook.com. If you don't have Microsoft account, go and create it because you're gonna need it for tomorrow. Okay, all the exercises and stuff. So online folks, you guys have any question? Make sure you have Outlook email account.
Okay.
If you already have Hotmail, it will work. If you have live.com, it will work as well. Okay. But otherwise, you guys are good.
Okay. So can I say something here?
Yes.
Don't just leave the meeting. So we can just put our email addresses here on online folks, so we can share it with
Yeah, go ahead and you
online
guys
people.
can do that. I'm gonna stop
Yes.
recording.